Rowing is a sport with roots that go back to antiquity. Here in the U.S., rowing can be an expensive activity. So for those who live in underprivileged areas, the opportunity to become a competitive rower is almost non-existent. But as Christian Farr tells us, a Chicago native is giving kids in the inner city a chance to enjoy a sport that had such a big impact on his own life.
On a lagoon between Lake Michigan and the Lincoln Park Zoo, a coach motivates his rowers in preparation for an upcoming race.
What I want us to work on, because we are trying to get ready for this race in July, is for you two to get to a point where you can start rowing together at a competitive pace.
The coach's name is Montana Bush, a 29-year-old Ivy League and Oxford-educated former collegiate rower from the city of Chicago.
What was so great about it? What did you like about rowing?
I like the fact that it was really transparent. I mean, you do a lot of work, and if you're willing to deal with the pain and then listen to the coach and learn the needed technical skills, anyone can pick it up.
Because of that philosophy, Bush set out on a mission and helped give birth to the Chicago Training Center. Its goal? To teach the sport of rowing to young people, but not just any group of teenagers. He wanted to bring the sport to Chicago's inner city youth.
How did you come up with this idea to teach rowing to kids who normally just wouldn't experience it in their lives?
Well, I'm a city kid as well. I grew up in the city. I'm here from Chicago. A big influence on me when I was younger was the movie Hoop Dreams, and that, to me, was a really telling tale of misplaced focus. And I soon started rowing. It became really fun. All of a sudden, I saw all the doors that opened for college, and it dawned on me that all these poor kids that are focusing on athletics as a way out of their predicament were focusing on the wrong sports, or sports that didn't really give them high percentages of success. Whereas with rowing, if you made that personal decision to be good, then you could take it as far as you wanted to.
Was it tough to get this off the ground? Was it tough to start this?
It took quite a big leap of faith, and it took the coordinated efforts of quite a lot of people.
CTC wouldn't exist without Montana.
Patrick Slattery, a longtime partner at Deloitte Consulting, was one of those people who helped turn Bush's dream into a reality. The two met while Bush was teaching a recreational rowing program that Slattery took part in.
Montana had bounced the idea around of doing something for kids in the city of Chicago. Montana grew up in Chicago, had learned to row, and actually got to travel the world a good deal, ended up going to University of Pennsylvania and Oxford University for grad school, all in large part because of his rowing experience. And he thought it would be a terrific opportunity to bring to CPS kids here in Chicago.
So this is a regular practice day. You are going to get coached on the water. But
after a year of researching the idea, Slattery helped co-found CTC with Bush at the helm. With the sponsorship of After School Matters, a nonprofit that promotes out-of-school opportunities for Chicago teens, CTC started to introduce rowing to Chicago public school students.
It's like different sport because it's not your regular volleyball, because I'm a pretty short person, so like I can't go to basketball or baseball, softball and stuff like that. So rowing kind of fits me as a small person.
Did you ever think about rowing before they came to your school?
No, I never heard of it actually.
Arms only, Jesus. Arms only, good.
Before putting his students on the water, Bush starts on dry land, teaching them basic techniques on ergs, commonly known as rowing machines, which he also uses during the winter.
There you go. Now control yourself. We're going to be here for a couple minutes.
Once they've mastered the appropriate technique, his students are taught how to properly put a boat on the water.
Kick it right out to the side.
From there, they either climb into a single sculling boat or a multiple one, where teamwork is not only the key to winning, but also an important part of keeping the boat from tipping over.
It goes from 2 people all the way to 8 people on a boat, and one mistake can make you go into that water.
Most of Bush's 37 rowers are either black or Hispanic and hail from the west and south sides of Chicago.
So start off at about half slide. Once you feel comfortable, work your way up to full slide.
Abigail Avila, the 16-year-old who knew nothing about rowing more than a year ago, has turned out to be one of Bush's star pupils and is also CTC's team captain.
He's a great coach, I could talk to him and stuff, He's like more of a friend than a coach.
Okay, so I want you to be a little bit lighter with your hands. Just cover the blade. The goal of the program is not to create international level junior oarsmen. We are a program that will facilitate that if they have the talent. But more often what we're looking for is success in schoolwork, success athletically so that they can compete and know what that's like.
should be 12 over 2 equals.
We want to complement what they're doing in their physical sort of exercise and that component.
In order to make his rowers successful off the water, Bush also offers a tutoring program. Twice a week, students at Loyola University's law school volunteer their time to help CTC's rowers academically.
I just think the perseverance and discipline that's needed transfers to so many things. I think it's sort of an amazing sport, and it's something that you can really draw from. Crewing is really, it has so much to do with discipline, perseverance, some of the same things that law students have to deal with.
We've been lucky. We've been doing more than rowing. We've actually taken the kids on college campus tours. They do some tutoring when they're in training. In addition, we brought them to a couple of professional organizations. I've had them to Deloitte, where they've learned about an accounting and consulting firm.
And just get used to the balance of the boat again.
With Deloitte, they were like affiliated with rowing, and they just talked to us about like giving back to the community in all types of ways. And like I think that's what Montana is trying to do with us, like give back and like bring us and get us interested in the sport of rowing. And you know, I think it's going pretty good.
Because of his passion and rowing experience, Bush has been getting a helping hand from the city. Sean Harden, executive assistant to Mayor Daley, is one of those city officials who got Bush the connections he needed to start CTC.
The city is committed to support it. 2016, the Olympic Committee was plugged into it. They've committed their support. We have local elected officials. They've committed their support. The mayor's all over it. I see nothing but great things coming out of it.
Recently elected Alderman Willie Cochran is also in Bush's corner. During his short tenure as the leader of the 20th Ward, Cochran has fought to find funding for CTC.
It's so important that we make this a success. We have an opportunity here to make rowing in Chicago a top athletic competition.
And you want it to be a competition where all colors are involved?
Oh yes. I think that is very important. Cross-cultural involvement is one of the biggest goals that I have.
And this will be the site that Chicago Training Center will use that will allow us access to the river.
Even though the city is leasing this site near Bubbly Creek to the CTC for $1, Bush says raising enough money to keep the program going has always been an issue. And that's the reason why he spends as much time selling the program to funders as he does coaching.
With the educational component that we offer, we hope to improve kids' grades. Through the UIC Human Performance Lab and Nutritional Department, we tried to address the health and well-being of the student. And then through college visits and through the meetings of community stakeholders and corporate executives here in Chicago, we try to widen their horizons. And if you piece all of that together, you now have a program that you can embrace from multiple angles. And it is that fact, and almost that fact alone, that we can address this program at multiple levels and get the funding and support that we need.
Even though money will always be an issue, Bush believes that in the short time CTC has been around, it has drawn more and more people to volunteer their time to coach. But what may be even more encouraging is the fact that his students are aiming a little bit higher. What do you eventually hope to do with rowing?
Mainly go into college and get in the sport there and see if I can do better at it. And one day, I'm guessing, I want to be in the Olympics for rowing. Hopefully, if I get into college, I want to go to Oxford, just like Montana, and row.
He's influenced you, it sounds like.
A lot.
For Chicago Tonight, I'm Christian Farr.
All of CTC's rowers participate in the program for free. The program continues year-round, not just during the school year. If you want to learn more about the Chicago Training Center, you can go to our website, WTTW.com, and click on Chicago Tonight.